All right, Chad, we about to talk about something a lot of y'all don't have. Job experience from generosity. Let's see what he talking about.
Today, I'll be talking about one of humanity's biggest fears. A job!
Nightmare, 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 job, job, job. Ah!
This is a horrifying path that almost everybody will have to eventually face in their life, whether we like it or not. And most of the time, we don't. But everyone has to get their bread somehow. So we just gotta suck it up and pray that we win the lottery or our parlay hits one day. Because let's be for real, nobody want a job. Like, unless you got real aspirations for a certain type of work, I think most of us, if given a magical opportunity to get paid however much you get paid now and not work that job again.
Not gonna lie, if you fresh in the job market, I'm talking from some places 15 to like early 20s. If you can help it, make friends at the job that are actually good people, and or jobs with friends you already have, bro. That's probably the only way that shit gonna get better for real. Bro. Cause like HEB on the surface, it's a grocery store for those that don't know. On the surface, it's like, whatever. But I had friends there and also made new friends. We was in that bitch chilling for real. We was in there, you know what I'm saying? Whether I was bagging, doing the cart produce, it don't matter. We was in that mud, you know. Hee ha ha. Oh, look at that shorty over there. Oh, I got this to get extra money. Oh, let's do this. Bruh, make friends or find someone, you know what I'm saying? Don't be shy, bruh. It's gonna be miserable if you don't.
We would take it. Cause most of us see jobs as a way to get by in life and try to make ends meet. There's no room for you to pursue passions in this economy. You better second guess that art degree and major in business so you can be an executive marketing promoter for a billion-dollar company. But I digress. I'm just saying, I doubt that is most people's passions to work at a 9-to-5 at a warehouse lifting boxes. I don't mean any disrespect, but am I wrong? Plus, it's fun being unemployed. As long as you got a roof over your head and don't need to worry about bills, most likely because you still live with your parents, then why would you want a job? That sounds like it's taking
college kids, don't fall for the people that want you to sell knives, bro.
Bro, yeah,
that's
bro.
A scam.
Bro, they gonna be like, yeah, it's like $25 an hour, da-da-da. It's not $25.
They want you to buy the knives. Bro. You are the lick. Bro, you.
They about to fucking do y'all wrong.
You gonna have to pay $500 for the knives and then go sell them. Bro. Once you buy them, their job is already done. Bro, they don't care if you sell them or not.
It's like vector marketing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if we can say that because they might sue us.
Victor marketing. Don't sell them knives, bro.
Don't sell them knives, bro.
Away your time from being grandmaster on Rivals and watching reels. Nah, that's too much. But eventually you want to get your own stuff. You know, young boy tickets ain't free. Or life really hits you in the face and now you actually have bills. So eventually we all have to...
I'll never forget, bro, my first bill. Like my first real bill was like a phone bill, right? Mm-hmm. Mom set me up with a phone or whatever. That bitch was $300 off.
Whoa! I knew you like that.
Well, I was in that mother hurry
to get a job. However, you know what's harder than actually deciding to get a job? Finding one that hires you. I swear, you could send 100 applications to 100 different places and all of them would still ghost you. You think with how many job openings you see, the businesses are desperate to find people.
I heard it's bad out there
it feels like they're posting it as bait. Just to mess with people or steal your info. Not only that, if this is your first job, you're gonna have a harder time because even the quote-unquote entry-level jobs are asking for a qualification of having prior experience. Like, isn't that what this job is for?
That nigga said, let's go child labor.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all can call me old all you want, but mid-2010s, getting a job was really, that shit was easy, I'll be honest. I applied one place, Market Basket didn't take me, went to the next one, they took me. Yeah. After I worked there for a while, when I needed another job, whatever, working for a church, easy. Worked for Academy, easy. Went back to the grocery, easy. Like, y'all, the time now sounds like it sucks.
It
sounds like it's bad out there, bro.
I also think that's why people are going into like, those market share jobs, like the jobs that ride share, all that.
Like, bro, I'm starting to realize a lot of the people that do like DoorDash, Uber,
that's all
they still work.
And some people, that's all they can do.
All they can do. But a lot of them, like, they get off and go do that. I'm like, dang. Jesus, were you discriminated at your workplace?
I've never been.
No, I ain't never. You know what I'm saying? Marcus' first job was creating English. Why you had to ruin it, bro? Why you?
How is someone supposed to get experience and not be homeless while almost every decent paying job requires that? And trying to apply for a job on LinkedIn or Indeed is like sending your application into a void. I swear none of those people be reading them. You could have the most stacked profile on LinkedIn. You got a bachelor's, master's, discovered the cure for cancer. Then you send in an application for your dream job to your dream company. Then they write back to you saying, we've read your application. Unfortunately, the CEO's daughter has took your position that you applied for, so get the fuck on. Back when I was still applying for jobs, I literally gave up on sending applications on those sites because I'd never get a response back. Like, damn, was my application that bad? Even when your application...
Bro, I never get... I used to PKWY them Indeed applications. Bro.
Oh, yeah, I was in... Bro, just send out the same. It got to a point where it's like, I don't just send out the same one to everybody. It's whatever it is, bro.
Now that I think about it, I do think about it. The last time I tried to get a job before YouTube, it was hard as shit to get a job.
It was starting to get hard.
And now
before
it's
COVID hit,
exceedingly more hard. Yeah, dude.
Hey,
bro, shout out to y'all, bro. Hey, bro. I appreciate y'all, bro. Because without y'all, bro, I'd have jumped off a bridge.
Hey, real spill, bro.
Hey, bro.
Shout out to everybody watching this, bro.
it does get noticed and you get set up for an interview, you still gotta go through some more bullshit ass questions. Why did you choose our business? Y'all hiring. Like, what's up? What is your main motivation to get your work done?
Money.
Money? What else am I here for? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Hopefully not here. That's just me being honest with my answers. What do you want me to do? Work here for the rest of my life? This is a Wendy's.
You was a bad hire, twin. That's why you ain't getting one. You got a lot of these people. I'm here forever. Yeah. I'm looking for a career with this company. McDonald's?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking to move up into upper management. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I don't think people, you gotta lie to these people.
Bro, yeah.
They don't want to hear the truth.
Bro, you want to know the funniest part, bro? I will never forget this. When I quit my job at Sprint, right before it became T-Mobile, I quit my job on good terms, right? Put in my 2 weeks notice, was supposed to quit. They asked me to stay another week because a manager was going on vacation. I said, cool. That whole last week, I wasn't selling, but I was putting my sales on other people's shit, getting everybody money up. I brought up the whole store sales that last week. I'm talking, it was like, I sold 25 devices that last week, right? So everybody was in a positive. I was already leader in the store. So I put, it was 25 devices on everybody by the time I left. And I remember money had got bad during COVID. I tried to go back. I was like, hey man, I really need a job, woo. And my boss was like, nah, we can't, they're not interested in bringing you back. I'm like, why? I left on good terms. I had great numbers. Why? And they were like, well, when you left, you pretty much, you kind of screwed us over. I was like, how? It was like, well, your numbers weren't good when you left. I was like, yes, they were. It was like, well, that last week you didn't sell any phones. I was like, all the phones I sold went under somebody else. It was like, yeah, but that just didn't look good because it looked like you didn't care. And I remember them saying this. I was like, okay, cool. And mind you, I was in a real bad position when I was asking for this job, asking for my job back. I was like, all right, cool. Start flipping houses. Then YouTube started popping up. I'll never forget, they called me. They were like, hey, Aaron, a lot of people quit. Would you be willing to come back in and help?
Now you know what I'm saying?
Now you want my help. I was in a bad situation. Yeah. And they was like, bro, they was like, man, you could just come in for like 3-4 days, man. We just need some help. And it was so funny to me. It was so funny to me. And I always think about this because I was like, dude, you knew the situation I was in and you could have been like, nah, man, I'll help you get the job. I'll talk to him, da-da-da.
But now you in a situation.
Now you want help. I'll never forget that, bro.
Whisper right. They don't care what you say. They just want you to sound like you gonna take it serious.
Yep.
Yeah, these people lie.
Guess who's back again with gamer subs. What's up, chat? You might be asking how did Kyle McGregor get here? You're asking too many questions. The boys over at InternetCity have teamed up with gamer subs. If you go to gamersubs.gg/InternetCity right now, you can get 10% off. I'm talking flavors like raw meat, guacamole, gamer fart. And these two right here, we got the nuclear section and chug juice. You either go, or I'm gonna go with you. Guess who's back again?
So you gotta lie with any question they ask. You have to make yourself look as good as possible. So you gotta fake it till you make it. Even if they asked you a stupid question like, would you still work this job even if there was no pay? You say absolutely. I always wanted to be a slave.
Oh,
congratulations. You have
a lot of the interviewers just doing the interview because they have to. They really don't care.
Yeah.
As long as you don't sound bad, they have to do this. Like, somebody else supposed to do this interview. I just gotta do it now.
Also, I'll never forget, bro, because I just thought about this. I was the top performing salesman month over month over month, and I found out I was getting paid the least hourly.
That's crazy.
When I'm getting paid 14. I'm getting paid da. I'm like, you getting paid?
I
literally said, you getting paid what? And I went to my manager. I said, you paying them that? And she was like, well, yeah, they're. I said, all right, cool. That next week is when I put in my 2 weeks notice.
Jeez.
Successfully become employed. The end of your life starts Tuesday. After starting a job, I feel after the first week, you can find out whether you like it or quit it the next month. And it won't be the job itself to motivate this decision. It's your boss and coworkers.
Jiggle my balls.
They can make or break this whole thing.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
you happen to get a chill boss and coworkers you can vibe
bro.
with, that's amazing. That's how my last real job was. I used to be a waiter for weddings and other events. That job low-key had me stressing because I wasn't good at the start. I was awkward taking orders. I would mess up orders. And one time I even dropped a whole tray of food I was carrying at the wedding. Best believe I didn't get tips that day. And what would get me kind of jealous is that some of my coworkers would walk out and carry 2 trays full of food on one shoulder. Like, damn, bro, are you Samoan? Those trays are mad heavy and so out of balance. But you know what kept me going? It was the fun time I had with my coworkers and boss. They were cool as hell.
See? Yep. See? If you can make friends that are good people and be cool with people, or be somewhere that you already have friends there, it becomes a much better. Like, it's to the point where, like, you stop thinking about the task that you're doing and you're just like giggling or talking about stuff. Like I used to walk around the produce section. Like, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to the apples. And on the way to the apples, I see so-and-so at the onions. It's like, and you just stop by, say a joke or talk about something, go do the apples. On the way back, say a joke, talk about something, meet in the back. Like, it makes it so much better.
It does. Like, the funny thing is, like, at Sprint, bro, I became the one everybody wanted to work with. Because, like, if you worked with me, at some point in the day, we were going to be dying laughing.
Yeah.
Like,
you know how to make it chill, fun. Don't take this too, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I had this one homeboy, Ransom. That nigga Ransom used to come to work. Boy, I want to myself.
Right.
Bro, I was like, nigga, it's 9 in the morning. Nigga, it's 9 in the morning. What?
We had a carpool to get to the events. It was always a vibe and a good time.
Yeah.
They made my experience. Imagine working a 16-hour shift and walking out of it happy. One day I clocked in for a double shift for a wedding and a Sweet 16 at 9:30 a.m. and clocking out at 1:30 a.m.
Jeez.
Granted, I was dead after that shift and had to take off my shoes more than once.
Good
but
night,
I got
XD.
$60 worth of tips and went to Wawa after work, so I felt like Gucci. And I believe I only felt like this because the environment I was around was nice. Sometimes. I've had to serve some
parking lot tips as like a grocery store parking lot. Them tip, boy. No, them bagger tips.
Yeah.
You need any help outside? Oh, sure. You walk around. Here you go. For real, this me. I'm helping everybody today. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
people.
You know what you suck? When you had them people with 2 big ass bags.
Yeah.
You help them out, they'll give you
no
shit.
tip, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. Them Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving, we was open. First of all, it was overtime.
Oh, my God.
Second of all, we was only open till 2 p.m.
Yo.
So it's like, hell yeah, I take it. I work till 2 and then go, you know what I'm saying?
But every time it's packed out.
But them tips though. You didn't have to be here today. Here you go. Oh my God, you working on Thanksgiving?
I'll never forget. It was this white lady in the Escalade. She didn't give me a tip. She was in the handicapped parking space. All right. I'll never forget this. It was probably one of the most fucked up things I ever did. She had, I'm talking baskets was like damn near flowing over, right? She get in the truck. Yeah, you can just put it in the back. I'm like, all right.
Boy.
So I put everything in there. I put it in the back seat. I was like, all right, yes, ma'am, I'm done. Okay, thank you. Press the button to close the back. No, she didn't say thank you. She said, okay, and close the back. I say, so I pushed both the two carts together and I left them right behind her truck.
Oh my
and
God.
you know, like in the handicaps, they can't go forward.
They can't go forward, yeah.
Boy, that lady got out the car. The worst part about them.
Oh my God, she was actually handicapped, Aaron. You evil! You low-key. Nah, you risk your job, low-key.
She wasn't handicapped, but she had a limp.
Nah.
Yeah, because he had a cast, bro.
Risked his job, low-key.
Fuck that lady, bro.
Nah, I hate the people that had like the delivery and like the way they move. It's just like they just seem naturally rude. It's like, man, fuck you too, bro. Yeah. Like, it's almost nothing wrong with like walking to the car and you getting in the car and me unload. That's what I'm here for. Yeah. But like, it's like the execution of it. It's just like, it seems so like, damn, you ain't even gonna tell me where to put it. Like, damn.
At some point.
Yeah, it's my birthday today. What can I get out here for free?
Shit.
You a bitch.
If I had trash co-workers or a trash boss, I would have not stayed at that job for long. I have zero patience for bullshit. Literally. Like example, the first job I've ever...
Involuntary overtime hours in my job, and those hours weren't recorded on my check, and they didn't want to pay my overtime hours. I was angry.
I hope you got that.
I never forget, bro. I never got my last check at the last job we worked.
What job you work?
We worked.
We?
Yeah.
What job? What?
Yeah. FedEx didn't give me my last check.
Oh.
FedEx didn't give me my last check.
Man,
but
I ain't gonna lie. FedEx was kind of like, it was kind of fun. I ain't gonna lie. We just had a horrible manager, for real. But like, it was free. Yeah. It was free because we didn't work there long enough to become a veteran to where you got to pick up the slack of us. Nah, we was only there a couple months, so we was newbies. Bro. Yeah, that shit was kind of.
I had in my senior year of high school, I was a janitor at a warehouse. I had no co-workers, so I had nobody to talk to, and my boss was not a bad person, but a bad boss. I'd be working shifts that were 2 to 3 hours every few days, cleaning the break rooms, hallways, and bathrooms. So my pay wasn't even that good, but since I was still in school, I was just thinking, I'm making money and I got more time to study and glue. That sounds like a win-win. But when payday arrived, I would only be paid for half the hours I worked, sometimes less. I was already barely working as is, combined with a salary of $13 an hour, cleaning up pee-pee and poo-poo. Man, I'm not taking it. Plus, he only paid me through Cash App. You've ever had a job that...
You getting scammed, boss.
Yeah, you was. That was, bro.
You getting scammed.
I ain't gonna lie. Our FedEx boss, because if you don't know, FedEx is just a bunch of independent contractors that own truck, and there's just a bunch of those contractors in certain locations. So we work for one. That bitch trained me under the table, bro. I wasn't even hired yet, bro.
For Amazon told me nowadays, whenever someone gets fired, they get fired by a computer, and the manager wouldn't even find out you were fired until later.
Damn. At Amazon? Damn.
Bro,
I can see that.
They picked us up from McDonald's.
From McDonald's, bro. Meet me at the McDonald's because that's on the way to my route. Picked us up, trained us under the table, bro.
Then on top of that was paying us in money orders, bro.
We out that bitch with no FedEx uniform yet, bro. Training. Luckily, it was an actual job, but like, damn, bro.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Book of Vibes.
That only paid you through Cash App? Man, I had to go. I only worked there for a few weeks. He did pay me the rest of the money after, so he cool, but man, warehouse jobs are not it. My patience dwindled faster when I got accepted at BJ's, and I worked there for 1 day. I asked to go to the bathroom and left during orientation. I discovered they weren't what they advertised.
Bro, you didn't even work there. Orientation? You didn't work there. Your coworker put his meat in the burger and took it out and gave it to the customer because the customer was giving him crap.
Right.
Yeah, that's
How you gonna call yourselves BJ's without expecting people to have certain expectations? That's false advertising. So I left. That wasn't really the reason. I just didn't want to work in the freezer. That's when I started my waiting job, then YouTube, and now here I am. Unemployed since. I'm just saying I can understand the struggles of looking for and having a job. Especially the ones you only take to make ends meet. And the unemployed life can be really fun when you have stuff to fall back on. If not, it will only be short-term satisfaction.
Bro, like, being unemployed kind of sucks sometimes,
bro. Yeah, it really do.
Like, man, bro, like, I miss having a job.
Hey, bro, go be an Academy's greeter, bro. Academy's greeter, bro.
Y'all niggas hiring,
you ain't got nothing.
Y'all niggas hiring, bro.
Who hiring?
But somebody out there, bro.
Somebody out there hiring, bro.
Bro, I'm tired of Simple went to sleep, bro.
She out of there.
Alright, bro, let's finish this video. We in the stream, bro.
Eventually, you have to get a career, deal with any of the shortcomings of it, and do that for the rest of your life.
I'll never forget. Okay.
It sucks thinking about that. I ain't gonna lie.
It does.
I ain't gonna lie. It sucks.
But I'll never forget, dude. One of my old general code district managers. One of my district managers at one of my old jobs came from a Fortune 500 company, right? Worked for a Fortune 500 company. He was a 6-figure earner. He was making like
he was a 6-figure ninja.
He was making I think close to $400K a year. Left work at the company I was working for at the time. Make 80-something thousand, right?
Why did he leave? He was forced out.
No, he quit. He quit because he walked in on his boss ramming his.
Whoa! Whoa! Nah, that's crazy.